Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy, Sir, of the 2020 Podcast, LLC. Please say the LLC. And welcome to another edition of Squad Goals. And you know what it is? We got the squad here, the typical, usual suspects. And today, I'm going to hand this off to Wyatt because it's a topic about health that he brought to the squad, and we're going to let him do his thing. How do you, bro?
All right. Well, appreciate it, Jeremy. It's kind of in tow with a lot of the stuff that's been going on, with the recent passing of Chadwick Boseman, RIP Black Panther. But one of the things that I wanted to bring up was, especially because of the quarantine and some people have either lost weight, some people have gained weight, you know what I mean? So it was just one of those topics on how the dynamics of a relationship, the mental and the physical aspects of weight loss and even the psychological aspects, because you feel better when you're looking better. So I wanted to kind of bring those up. Today we got a guest. He's my Chet. He's somebody. He's the owner and creator of Ivy Holistics. He is the Frank Lucas of CMOS. So I wanted to bring out Ivan Watkins. So I wanted to go ahead and bring him out, have him tell his story, because he's got an amazing story from where he was, a couple of years ago to where he is now. And he's changing not only his lives, but a lot of the lives that he's touching. So I wanted to hand it off to you, kind of let you tell your story, and then I'm going to ask a couple questions afterwards.
Okay. What's up, everybody? Chet, what's up?
Yes, sir.
It's a pleasure being on y'all show, first off, so I appreciate the invite. I guess with my story, it started, I guess, along the lines, I kind of started working out, really when my father passed some years ago, from a heart attack. He wasn't really a big guy, but he just didn't really take care of himself. So recently, probably the last really 2 years, I've gone just vegan for the most part. And what kind of led me towards down that road, I guess, as far as with my story, is just I started Chadwick, right? As far as I started looking and seeing why is it that our people, transition and pass so early, whereas you got other people, other individuals, and I always use I think his name's Ozzy Osbourne, right? I think that's his name, yeah. The rock star, and how he still kicking, how he's done all these other drugs and all this other stuff, and he's still alive. But it's why are we, passing? So that what kind of led me down my journey as far as researching, and I started seeing it's the foods we kind of eat is what's basically for the most part taking us out. So that's what led me towards my my journey and whatnot.
All right. Well, so if you don't mind me asking, where you were 2 years ago, because for people who know you, you were different size from where you are now. So where were you when you first started, and where are you now? Roughly.
I was probably 2 years ago, I was about 60 pounds bigger at least. As far as the people who kind of knew me, that's when I kind of started diving fully into it. I had lost a little bit of weight prior to then, but the drastic, I guess the quote, drastic change came within 2 years, and probably the last year and a half or so.
Cool. So when you first started, what are some challenges that you ran into?
It's a couple of them. I mean, it's still a challenge as far as well, not really, but it's always going to be a challenge as far as temptation, with food, because if you go outside, you'll smell the steakhouse and you'll smell the food, so that doesn't really ever go away. So that's something that's been a real big challenge. Holidays, because we get, because it's about to be Thanksgiving, right? So
yeah,
holidays, right? So everybody cooking and eating turkey and ham and all that other stuff. So it's a temptation with that. then you gotta be prepared, like, jokes and stuff. People are always joking with you on it, but yeah, like the biggest temptation is, or the biggest hurdle is probably like once you kind of get in your mind with anything, once you kind of get in your mind, you're pretty good. That's just the main thing. Like I said, I tell people it starts in your mind, and once you get in your mind, you can do basically anything that you want. So.
Yeah. Well, so before I start hitting everybody else in the squad, I had some facts because Jeremy always gives facts on his podcast. So the facts that I got today were that as a country, we actually have 36% of the country that's considered obese. Now, there's actually then 32.5% that's still considered overweight. So 2/3 of the country is overweight or obese. So it's really a pandemic that a lot of times isn't talked about, isn't really kind of expressed in that certain way. So it's one of those things that I really wanted to bring into consideration and into light here. I looked at just Alabama itself. So that was the average. Alabama is in the top 5 states that have the most obese people. We have 35.7% obese people here in the state of Alabama. So in the South itself, that's where all the top 5 states are. So it's the great. I understand there's a difference, and I think sometimes it's a struggle because there's great soul food here, but it also has a history of killing us early as well. So, and it starts early because even when it looks at, obese kids, they're 17.5%. So it's a little bit like 1 in every 7 kids is obese. So it's one of those things that, is definitely kind of taking us out of there. But, it's really important to really kind of get a hold of your weight and your health. And I want to try to stay away from weight itself because weight is not necessarily the thing that determines whether or not you're healthy or not. So it's one of those things where, you can be, 120 pounds and still not be healthy. Or you can be, as a man, you can be 205 pounds and still not be healthy. So it's all about making the right decisions and things like that. So I want to kind of give it to the rest of the squad here. Like when it comes to being healthy and things like that, what kind of things do y'all run into?
Oh, can you hear me?
Oh, go ahead, bro.
Okay. Oh, my bad. I thought I was muted. Okay. So, yeah, I guess I'll go first. So for me, things are a little bit different. The last couple of years, I have tried to basically do more for myself. And reason being, man, like I lost my dad and my uncle to like massive heart attacks, like quick. Like my dad's happened overnight, and then my uncle was working in his yard, literally just had a heart attack, passed out, died. Both of these gentlemen were in their like mid-50s. I'm 35. That is a scary thought, to be so close to my gene pool. So I make sure that I take care of myself. Whether it be, I changed up my diet a lot. I stopped eating so much fried food. I had already eliminated sodas from my diet. The biggest thing that I introduced into my life was drinking a gallon of water a day. I went through like a 6-week process with my girl D Thomas, shout out to D. And literally in 6 weeks lost, I think 31 pounds. We was on it heavy, like really, really strict diet, exercise 3 times a week, and a gallon of water a day. That was the plan. And I have literally been drinking a gallon of water, if not more, a day since that. That's been like 3.5 years ago. So my problem is consistency. So like I'll lose the weight and then I get lazy. And I should just do what it takes to maintain it because it's always easier to gain it than it is to lose it. But I think what it ultimately boils down to is making sure your diet is right. Because they always say abs are not made in the gym, they're made in the kitchen. And not only does meal prepping save you time, it saves you a lot of money. And that's important for all of us, especially in these times. You know, you got to make the dollar stretch sometimes. So I get it, but that's definitely those are definitely some things that I've integrated into my life. Also, another thing that I think black men don't do enough is go to the doctor. Like we're scared to go to the doctor. And the last time I went to the doctor, like I had everything checked. I wanted to know about everything. You know what I'm saying? Even like talking about like colon cancer screening, because colon cancer screening can happen early, especially in our men. Um, and he's like, "You too young to get this test." I was like, "Nobody's too young to catch anything. Give me the test." Did I regret it? Yeah, a little bit. I wasn't ready for that. But it's better to know than not know. And I think a lot of times we get afraid of what's gonna happen or what's been told. Um, Going to the doctor possibly saved my life because I had super high cholesterol and I was eating really, really good, but I was eating so many eggs a day that it was raising my cholesterol levels. So I had to like scale back on like eggs and egg whites because at the time I really wasn't eating them, but like grilled chicken and eggs, like for protein. Because it was, I'm trying to lose weight and cut and do all that stuff. So I mean, just having a well balanced diet, meal prepping, water, and attempting to be consistent. Because I'm not going to sit up here and say that I am, but attempting to be consistent with some type of exercise routine, even if you're just walking. That's what I do. You know what I mean? And I'll try to make that happen. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with everything Dre just said, bro. It's funny. Me and Buck had this conversation a couple years back. It actually was when I first met Buck. He came to the house and we sat down and did an interview, and he told me the story about his dad and his uncle. And we had like this mutual story where we were talking about we experienced like an anxiety attack, and it scared us to the point because we didn't know what was going on. We thought we were having heart attacks. And so the point I'm gonna hit on is stressing. I made it a point to de-stress. I made it a point to take out a day out my week for myself. And it's hard. It's hard. And I'm gonna have to get on consistency with that because I'm always in my phone. I'm always answering a question. I'm always editing something. I'm always trying to get something done to alleviate myself for another day. But what happens is I end up doing something on that day that I alleviated for the previous day. And I had to stop because I actually had another panic attack the day before yesterday. I woke up and my heart felt like it was going to beat out my chest and I was sweating. And so I checked my heart rate. My heart rate was fine, but it just the intensity of it. And so I remembered, that's what this is. I was stressed out at the time because I was trying to make so many things meet at a certain time. And I called off for about an hour from work. I meditated. I lit my incense. I turned on my diffuser. I turned on some music, some lo-fi music, and I just sat and chilled. I turned off my phone and just chilled, and it got me back down. And it reminded me that a lot of times heart attacks kill us because we are so stressed. I have to let go of so many things. And it's okay not to meet certain goals. That's the point of setting a goal, that if you miss, it's okay. You live another day to try again. And that's something I'm trying to get more consistent on. On the activity front, every weekend I can walk, I go. I didn't go this last weekend because we was in Birmingham. And the weekend before I couldn't because it was pouring down cats, dogs, snakes, and ducks. But I frequently walk. And if I walk, I try to take somebody with me so I can talk and walk. There's more exertion, jog a bit. That's been my de-stress as well. And I've been trying to be an advocate that when walking, for me, maybe it's just for me, but everybody I've walked with experienced this too. And it might be because we have conversations as we walk. It's kind of a meditation within itself. It's like you're flushing everything else that's on your mind out because your brain is focusing on keeping this rate of walking. It's like you don't really have time to worry about the trivial shit you worry about in your daily stuff, like sitting in the house and stuff. So like being outside, looking at the sky, feeling the wind, hearing the bird chirp, like all of that puts me back in perspective that some of the shit I'm worried about is not necessarily a concern because there's so much more in the world going on. Like, what am I stressing for? So that's something I've been working on, trying to be a little bit more consistent on. So yeah, kudos to you, Ivan, because bro, I'm gonna tell you something else, bro. I watched your weight loss journey, bro, because bro, I looked at you and I was like, nah, I gotta tighten up. Cuz out here killing them. Cuz is out here killing them, bro. And I see your workouts, bro. I see your product line, and I laughed my ass off when I said you're the Frank Lucas of CMOS, because I can't find it nowhere else. And I'm waiting for myself to get paid so I can hit up your website and get some. So yeah, I receive CMOS on deck, call.
Appreciate that.
For me, I'm gonna touch back up on Jeremy said. Can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And stress. That is my biggest thing. And I'm gonna tell on myself. Jeremy know all the time. I always say I'm gonna tell on myself. I got off late from work because I didn't get off. It was something I had to finish that somebody threw on me at right when it was time to get off. And I was ready to fight that dude. But anyways, I got home and my girlfriend had cooked. And that's one thing I've been doing, like every day I've been coming home cooking. Like even Wyatt seen me last night cooking. He was like, bro, what's that recipe, that grilled chicken you just finished cooking? I was like, I got you. So I just ate like a big plate of chicken spaghetti. And I shouldn't have ate a big plate of chicken spaghetti, but it comes with stress. For those of you who do know me, I'm very open. I was married for 7 years. And the last 4 years of that relationship was just straight stress. And I put on stress weight, and I put on sad weight, and I put on depression weight, and I got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And relationship ended, marriage ended, and I started slimming down. I started feeling good. Then I got a new relationship. So what comes with a new relationship? Happy weight. So I still had the stress weight, and here comes the happy weight. So now I just got weight. And I know we say we weren't going to talk about weight, but it just is what it is. And I have been trying to figure out what can I do. And I wasn't going to come on here tonight. Because I was all tired, but I said, no, I'm going to come on here tonight because probably I need to hear something to get me moving. I'm stuck right now. I'm stuck. I know I should go walking. I actually went walking the other day. My girlfriend had the car, so I was at work. So I walked to the little corner store just to get me a little snack or something. And I can't remember how long the walk was, but it had been a while since I walked. And I'm right where I'm at right now. I'm stuck. I know I need to do something. I'm about to be 30 in November. My mom passed away from gastric cancer. Cancer runs in my family. I had an aunt that passed away from complications of cancer. My granddad passed away from, I forgot what kind of cancer he had. It might have been colon. It might have been colon cancer. My uncle right now is dealing with cancer. So it's in my family. And like Wyatt was talking about those facts about the South and how we eat and all that good stuff. I love my seafood. I do. And maybe I should do more boiled seafood, but I like frying seafood. Y'all know me. I will throw some shrimp and some batter with the quickness and throw down. But it's like all these things I know I should not do. But when you deal with what Jeremy said, the stress of work, the stress of life, the stress of meeting deadlines, the stress of everything. And Jeremy, kudos to you of trying to find a day where you just don't do anything. In my mind, I'll be sitting there and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play video games Sunday just to relax. And I never do it. It never happens. And I feel like I need to find that balance. So I feel like I'm rambling now, so I'm gonna stop. But I'm in a position where I'm stuck. I need help. I don't know how to get out of this.
Well, I just piggyback off of everything everybody said, because all of y'all mentioned something that I could personally relate to. Out of everything, the stress, the family history, the personal weight gain, loss, all of that, I can relate to all of that. I have definitely been gaining weight since college. And when I say college, I mean the first time I was in college back in '09, not 20, '09. That's a lot of weight. I had probably been the smallest I had been in a while. And it seemed like when I started dating, my weight just climbed up steadily, steadily, steadily. And then it got to a point where I broke up from that relationship, had kids, then it just took off. I don't know. After the kids, it just kept coming. And in the back of my mind, I was more worried about them than I was myself. So I always put my kids first. I gotta go to work because I gotta make sure my kids have what they need. I gotta do this because I gotta make sure my kids have what they need. I can't ask this person for help because I gotta make sure my kids straight. These my kids. I can't put all that on everybody else. So it's always been that mindset where I gotta get this done, and it's never been up to a certain point. It hadn't been anything about me, my health, or anything like that. Then there came a point where I had a cousin that was 36. She died, left a set of twins and a 5-year-old. And I wasn't that much younger than her. I was like her little sister, and everybody said we looked alike. So in my mind, I was like, dang, that might be me. So the whole thought process of making sure my kids were straight while I'm alive as a goal was what I strove for the longest. And then at some point, I got into the poetry world. And to be honest, I'm not going to say I didn't think about the weight, but more so then it was like, okay, well, I got to make something of myself. So then with my kids, when they need somebody, when they need something, they got a whole community of people willing to step in and help my mom in case she need help. So recently in the last 3 to 4 months, I've been going up and down with weight. I will go down, I will go up. I will go down, I will go up. So I've been having this yo-yo. And it's funny because I've been watching my stress level go up because I started doing the poetry, working full time, stopped working, lost my job basically. Started doing the poetry full time, then got another job, was doing both, then lost that job, then started doing the poetry full time again, then got another job. Now I'm doing that job, doing the poetry full time. Also, I got a side hustle and another side hustle that's taking up a lot more time than what I need to. So now I'm finding that I can't cook for my kids like I need to. I can't clean my house like I need to. I can't even worry about my weight because I'm so stressed out. And it's funny because I was just having this conversation with somebody last week that I'm just tired. I'm tired, man. But yeah, I'm just leave it right there.
Well, so I want to kind of transition kind of what you were saying. And like, I don't know, y'all probably can't read this in the back, but like I have a quote, and the quote is just our greatest glory is not in never failing or falling, but rising every time we fall. It's by Sun Tzu, and it's in The Art of War. So like when we were younger, like it's not, Jeremy and I used to read the book, and that's how one of the things that we bonded over, but it's not about necessarily the struggles and not being able to kind of, like Jeremy said, he's stressed over meeting the goals. Like Ebony expressed how sometimes, she stresses over some of the things that she's not able to do. Like, I think, and that's one of the things, like with me going through a divorce, and I can relate to you about being a single parent, like there are stuff that you have to do that, take priority, but also we need to be able to make sure that we take care of ourselves as well. Because if you are not there to take care of yourself, then you can't take care of anybody else. So it's an investment in not only your future, but the future of the people that you want around you. So one of the things that a couple of us talked on too was, that relationship weight. So, when we have those relationships, is everybody gaining, or how are we trying to find that balance? Because I know sometimes, if you lose too much weight, then people think that you're trying to do something else besides just getting healthy. So, when we come back to just relationships and how it is with our fitness journeys, what kind of things have you seen positive and negative so that we can, talk about that? Because I know I put on weight, but then when you're not with somebody, you can go ahead and lose that weight too. But it's got to be a consistency because your body can't keep taking off and on, off and on. So let's have somebody start it off, see how it is with relationships, and trying to find a happy medium or their experiences with say for instance, I'm gonna go with you, Jeremy, because you have well, I know that you've lost weight, and I wanted to see how those things impacted your life, sir. I'm putting you on Front Street. Sorry about that.
I don't mind. I'm gonna keep it a buck because I've talked about this with a bunch of guys before. Look, man, look here. You don't need no enhancement when you start losing weight, bro. You're gonna find some inches in certain areas that you didn't know you had. So I'm gonna say that first and foremost. Take that how you want. But seriously, look, I be like, nigga, hey, but seriously, the thing I ran into the most was when I was in those bad relationships. We were eating out a lot because it was easy. It was cheap. You know what I'm saying? Cheap date. Let's go out to get something to eat. All right, bet. Let's do it. Boo, 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 boo. Next thing you know, I'm full. All right, well, I'll finish your plate. Woo, woo. It just becomes a cycle. It becomes a cycle. And now you go from, because my ex we was all living in the same place. Why? Because at first we had a roommate of 5 people and only like one of them was eating healthy. One. And so with my ex, when we moved to a different spot, we just weren't living healthy, like period. It's bad enough when one person isn't eating healthy, but now it's 2. You know what I'm saying?
3.
So 3, you know what I'm saying? So at that point, nobody's buying what we need or living like we should to be more conducive. Another thing is eating late. Like you have to have that schedule and the consistency of eating breakfast and trying to get your dinner in somewhere around 6-ish. That's where I'm trying to have mine at now. I try not to go over 7 if possible. And honestly, stop letting people defeat you before you even get into the mindset of having a life, like a better lifestyle. It's too many times when we be like, man, I'm not eating that right now. I'm eating this, this, and this. And you'll find yourself hearing people say, ooh, I can't do that. Ooh, I can't let go of this, this, and that. All right, that's their problem. Don't let that deter you. Because a lot of times we take that negativity and we're like, oh, you can't eat bread. Well, I guess I can't eat it too. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you can do whatever you set your mind to. And that kind of plays into you are what you eat. And I mean that literally and like figuratively. If all you eat is junk food, you're not going to see a change. But if you are also always around people who are naysayers, who aren't consistent, who aren't going to hold you accountable, you're not going to see that change. So I try to keep in contact with people who I know are eating. Or like why to tell you, like we will, why to take a picture randomly, bam, of him working out or walking and running, just sweat drenched and stuff. And I made it a point to do that too, because whenever I go walking, I take a picture of myself when I'm done. I take a picture of the song that I was listening to when I finished, and I take a picture of the distance and I post it so people could see that. You know what I'm saying? And just hopefully it inspires somebody. So all in all, the relationships are affected because now I'm smaller, so I feel a little bit more confident. I'm a little bit less self-conscious when going out and stuff, or I don't think about, man, is this shirt fitting right? You know what I'm saying? I don't worry about that. I can focus on more of having a good time. I can focus on more of not being in my own thoughts because I'm an introvert by nature. And so naturally I'm always in my head. And if I don't feel the part of like I'm good enough to be at somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm at a grown and sexy event and I don't feel like I'm dressed apart, I'm going to be in my head all day. But now I'm at a place where I can kind of get outside of my head and be like, yeah, I do this now. I put in the work. So now I feel like I belong here. You know what I'm saying? I can feel proud that I'm there. So, yeah.
First, one thing I want to say as far as what helped me, like I said, you have to get it into your mind as far as first that no matter who else or who is around you, that you're going to stay consistent with whatever it is that you're going to do, like, especially like physically. So we as a people, a lot of times put our health on the back burner, not knowing that our health is the number one thing, because I remember hearing somebody say, if a plane is going down, they tell you that put your own mask on first and then put your child's mask on. Why? Because you can't help your child if you're struggling. So you got to make sure that you take care of yourself first. And even when it comes to whatever type of relationship you're in, that's why a lot of times, and it's proven, like when you eat sweets and stuff like that, that's connected to a portion of your brain that needs love or has something to do with love. Like everything that you eat it's something to do with your body, whether it's you're craving meat or you're craving sweets, all that has some type of underlying issue to deal with your mental process. And as far as what I tell people, no matter what you do, I always try to get in every single day. I don't care if, like my man said, he just walked to the store, right? Walk to the store, like do some type of physical activity every single day. Like even if you I understand we all busy, but you have to get up that extra 15 minutes and just go. If you're in an apartment complex, go walk around your apartment complex for 15 minutes. Start doing that for like a week. And then the next week, do it for maybe 20 minutes and do that for like 2 weeks. And then eventually, like, okay, your body will start getting into a rhythm. You'll start feeling better. And like Jeremy said, like, you'll start seeing difference and you start like feeling different about yourself, and you'll start having more self-confidence, which will make you want to go into the gym more, will make you want to exercise more. But the main thing is, like I said, you just have to make sure that you get it into your own mind that, look, this is something that I have to do, because we all had examples of individuals that we cared about, individuals that we were close to, that have passed way too early. And why is that? It's because stress. We're already stressed because we're melanated. The world doesn't like us. We're already dealing with that type of stress. And then you incorporate the food and stuff and the lack of exercise and all that. Is only so much that your body can take. So like I said, just try to at least, like I said, try to get in your mind and try to at least every single day do at least 15 minutes, if it's just walking around your own neighborhood or something like that, and then just gradually just go about and increasing it, and you'll start seeing the benefits of it. So
one of the things that I noticed as well, kind of harping back on what Jeremy was saying, was like you have people that are going to either be positive or negative in your relationships, and that doesn't even mean boyfriend girlfriend. There are people who, if you working out, then they may tease or say this. And the one thing that I get really stressed about, especially when I go to the gym, is, I'm a bigger guy right now. And so then, like, I know I people watch. Like, I people watch wherever I go. So, you know what I mean? When I look at that and I see, okay, I know somebody people watching me right now. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where, honestly, you have to be like, F that. Like, you here to get, where you need to get. You know what I mean? So you can't worry about who's on the side of the road, because they don't have anything to do with what you're trying to do in your life. So one of the things that for me has been a challenge, and that's why I send those messages to like Jeremy. I send it to other family and friends, like the little sweat check, because then after that, if they haven't seen that in a couple of days, or they haven't seen that in a week, I know those people are going to be the ones that hold me accountable, be like, hey, I ain't seen a picture yet. So it's one of those things where, a part of it is, and I know, because relationships, especially with your significant others, girlfriends, boyfriends, husbands, wives, like, those are the people that are important to you. But in the same instance, like Ivan was saying, it's one of those things where you have to put priority on your health, because, you know what I mean? If you're not, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm horrible at portion control, but I know that, so I need to know that I need to work on things. So it's just a point of getting out of your own head and knowing that you're doing the right thing for yourself. So,
Adolescent Adults is a hilarious podcast. It centers around pop culture, love, relationships, anything that pertains to the millennial life. Adolescent Adults is hosted by Mariah Lynn and BJ Hoke, and they bring you new, fresh content every single week. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and SoundCloud. Also, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Adolescent Adults Podcast.
So one thing I wanted to touch on now, because Ivan, you got a lot of knowledge on different things. So I wanted you to kind of touch on like the sea moss, the elderberry, like all like the detoxes that you have, because I think a lot of times people don't realize how detrimental some of the foods are. You know what I mean? I know, we've had conversations before about how detrimental even milk is to you. So that's why people have, like, I know we talked about getting off of milk, and we are off milk to do like the almond milk, the cashew milk, something like that as a substitute. So I'm gonna first kick it off to Ivan, but then like if anybody else has anything, like this is a time where we're just trying to give out information not only for us here, but the people that are gonna watch later on.
You are what you eat, right? So that's literal. Like that's you are what you eat. And even going back into milk, right? Milk is not good for you. Milk does not do a body good. Like it does not. Like it's been like even when it comes to like certain foods like cheese and even eggs and stuff like that. Like it's been proven that big corporations came up with an idea to be like, okay, breakfast is the most important food, and we're gonna push this to where, okay, you gotta eat some eggs, you gotta eat some cheese, you gotta drink some milk, which milk has the opposite effect of it. Like it actually doesn't do as far as like calcium and stuff. Yes, it has calcium, but it's not like good it like hurts your bones for the most part. And from what I've seen, like it's just agenda per se as far as with our food, because if you go to a lot of countries outside of the United States, the foods that we eat, they don't have, like they ban those types of foods. And if you think about it, okay, you can go to Wendy's and get a 4 for $4, but if you want to go get a salad from Wendy's, how much is a salad? Like, how come they don't have like 4 for $4 salads?
Salad like, I'm sorry, salad like about $6.59. I know because I like that salad. But then I've had $2 off coupons on my salad, like $5. Thank you very much.
Coupons. Yeah. So why is that? Why is it that this food is so cheap? If it's so good for you, why is it so cheap? And as far as like going into like herbs and stuff like that, detoxing, sea moss, despite what people say, it doesn't have 92 minerals and all that. It has roughly 12 to 16 minerals that you need, such as like your iron, because a lot of people are anemic and things of that nature, have low iron. So sea moss is actually good for that. It helps you with weight loss because you can substitute it for like a meal. It's good for like your thyroid. It just has a whole bunch of like different benefits. I mean, you can put the stuff on your face, your beard, all that type of stuff, and it basically gives nutrients to your body. Also, when it comes to like detoxing or whatnot, you should at least detox at least 4 times out the year. Because back in Egypt and things of that nature, they would detox a few times. They would, from what I read, they would detox sometimes at least once a month, because your body creates new cells all the time. So the purpose of a detox is allowing your body to break down all the quote bad stuff that you've eaten and you taken into your body, and allowing those cells to replicate or whatnot and create new cells or whatnot. So that's the real importance as far as like with detoxing with herbs. That's why I have like a detox to where it kind of like cleans out your intestines and your stomach, because a lot of stuff is just backed up in there. Like when you eat like a burger, you eat like beef and stuff, that stuff stays in your system for like weeks. So just imagine like if you take a hamburger patty, right, and you just leave it on the counter, and eventually it'll start getting like maggots and all that other stuff. And you got to keep in mind, like I said, to each his own, but you got to keep in mind as far as like what you eat, because all that stuff is going inside of your body and it's causing, harm, to your body. So once I actually started really focusing on what I ate compared to, because I would go to the gym and I would work out and I would kind of like, swell up a little bit, but I would never like lose weight. But once I actually started losing, when I actually started like paying attention to what I was eating. And a piece of advice, you don't have to like dive fully in. Like what I did was I started cutting out red meat, and I was just eating like chicken and fish. And so I did that for a few months, and then eventually I cut out the chicken, and then I was just, just eating fish. And then eventually I just cut out the fish. And that's how I got to, where I'm at now. And you'll start to see that. You'll start to see with each phase that you do, you'll start feeling better and better. And it's like, okay, well, now I'm ready to go to the next phase. So it's really about, like I said, what we eat, because it's just not. And I'll say this one last thing. Our DNA is not the same as everybody else's, right? Our DNA cannot break down these meats and things of that nature the same way that other individuals are. And that goes back to us being the original people, the original man, because we didn't eat meat. We didn't, in the beginning, we didn't you can research this. We didn't eat meat because we had plenty of fruits, vegetables, and all that other stuff. And we really didn't start eating meat until like the Ice Age and things of that nature, which it wasn't really us, but that's another story. But once that came about, that's when everything kind of like changed for us, and that's why we transitioned so early, is because of, like I said, it's the food that we eat, it's the stress, and it's the lack of exercise.
I feel betrayed by the Mobile public school system. Who used to put them milk does the body good. They used to put the Power Rangers on the cover, and I was like, well, damn, Green Ranger drinking milk. I guess I need to drink milk too. And then they used to put all the little fake food and stuff you in the home, in the little kitchen area, at the big ugly block of cheese, and they just put that into our brain like, yeah, go fix you some eggs and cheese, and that ain't really good for you. I drink 2% milk, and I know that's probably still not good. I'm just gonna tell the truth. I'm just telling myself. I've tried the almond milk, and I'm not saying it's nasty. It costs a lot of money, and I be on the budget. I'm just telling the truth. Jeremy, tell me something different. I'm telling my truth.
Almond milk, Walmart brand, $1.82, half a pint. Got you. Half a gallon, excuse me.
All right, now, so we know everything great value ain't good. So, hey, I'm trying to help me. So, it's straight. Okay. All right. I'm gonna take a look at that. But in other words, you're right. Like that Wendy's salad is really good. I love that Wendy's salad. I treat myself to one every paycheck because it's expensive. But then and then you got the Burger King next door where they be sending you that little text, the little notification like, hey, it's $1 Whopper Wednesday. You like, guy, Burger King, you was thinking about me. I love you. You know what I'm saying? But they'll never, Wendy's next door, they'll never send me no, it's $1 salad day coupon. They'll never do that. But them salads have got to be expensive because of all the stuff they put in there. You got all the chicken, you got the romaine, and you got the cheeses, and you got all this type of stuff. And then you take a $6 hamburger, and it ain't got nothing but bread, mustard, mayonnaise, ketchup, and lettuce. So it's horrible why that's done that way. It really is.
Man, you got to meal prep. That's what it is. Because if you buy the stuff to make your own salad, because like one time I just showed Jeremy where I make my salads, where I made one of those like summer, salads that came from Wendy's, because I know what salads you're talking about.
Yeah,
but
chicken.
Bro, the chicken with the strawberries. Man, listen, we're gonna talk about it later because we're getting distracted. Hold on, man. So you just meal prep, bro. That's the thing, and I think, not to cut you off, but like I think that's the one thing that I learned is like even when you got to be able to just take that time, like, and that may be a part of that investment time that we talked about, just making that salad and things like that, because you can make a great salad and, you may spend $30 to get like the chicken, the salad, everything that you need as far as that, but that's going to last you the whole week. So if you look at that, then that's $4 a day versus when you pay for that 4 for 4 as far as that's concerned. So it's one of those things where like you have to. Ivan's really been preaching like that mindset change. It has to be that mindset of okay, just like I have to do all these other things. Like if you put an investment, because that's really important to do that. It's just investing in yourself and making sure that you kind of just go shopping, do those things, make the salads, do whatever you feel is best for you. Because even when it comes to snacks, because I'm good. One of the things is portion sizes for me. One of the other things is eating late. So it's one of those things where you have to go ahead, plan out your day. And I hate schedules because I feel like then I'm a robot. But then but it makes it so that you do better. You know what I mean? Because I do want to be able. I don't want to necessarily have a 6-pack. That's not what I'm looking for. But if I don't have no kind of, if my stomach is flat, you ain't gonna tell me nothing. I'm telling you.
Right.
So
have a look at
so it's one of those things. I'm gonna work out with Ivan, and then next thing you know, they already said now that I look more like him because I got these hair like this. But I'm just trying to be like Ivan all the rest of the time. So
and then detoxes, man. Like you see all the stuff, drink cayenne pepper and apple cider vinegar. I'm like, nah, bro, that's nasty. Like I don't want to have to go through that. Like,
So let me say this, right? And this is what I tell people, even when it comes to my detoxes and with herbs and everything like that, right? Okay, so you drink alcohol for the taste, or do you drink alcohol for the effects that it gives?
I'm not a anybody
he's not a drinker. He's not a drinker.
Right,
That one.
or whatever it is.
Let's use something I do drink. Kool-Aid. I drink Kool-Aid for the taste and the refreshment.
The taste and refreshment. So, even with that, right, you have to get into the mindset to where like you're paying for, you can either pay for it now, meaning that you could pay a little bit extra. And if once you actually start learning and going shopping and stuff, it's not really expensive like that. Like if you go to certain stores, you could find like lettuce, you can find tomatoes, you can find all these other type of things for a certain amount of money, because you want to invest in yourself now. Because think about how much it was going to cost you or it's going to cost your family 10, 15, 20 years now, where you go into the hospital and then it's goddamn $30,000 for a scan, right? And so it's like you could have basically prevented all that for the most part if you had taken the necessary steps early on in your life. You have to look at your health as an investment. The same way, whatever you like to go do, like you take that money and you invest in that, whether it's the new Marvel movie or you go whatever it is you want to do, like you go invest your money into that. Why? Because you want to do that. You have to do the same thing with your health. You have to look at your health as being an investment, because that's your greatest return. That's your greatest ROI is your health, because health is, as they say, wealth. That's the way I look at it, so.
Stupid question. Y'all gonna let Malcolm sit up here and say that he fries shrimp every day, but he can't buy no salad?
Hey, I fry shrimp every day. Fry shrimp on payday. I get paid. I go to the fish market.
Maybe he is making shrimp salad.
I am not. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm trying to help you here.
I'm trying to help myself. And lying is what got me in this face.
Help you.
No, I need to be small. I'm telling the truth here.
Well, let me say
I
this.
just had to shed some light on that, man, because that was funny as heck.
I fried good shrimp. I fried some.
So one thing to me, when we talk about, food, it's a matter of finding the proper things. And everybody think that you got to go to high-end grocery stores or buy organic. Organic just means that it's been untouched by pesticides. You want organic food? Go to a food mart. Go to a food market. Go to a farmer's market. Go to your flea market. You know what I mean? Like, you have people that are on the side of the road just trying to make a living out of farmers that are selling a bag of sweet potatoes for $2. You can go to the same grocery store like a Publix, and you'll get half the amount for probably twice the money. You know what I mean? And just because they slap an organic label on it, like you have to, you have to be able to get the things that you need for yourself. And if you can't grow it yourself, the next best thing is to get it straight from the source. So I always, when we talk about fruits and vegetables and things like that, I think it's always helpful um, to look for those deals in places like that. Because we talked about why the burger is $1 and the salad is $7. Well, that's because they know that they can label that as a marketing ploy for it to be healthy. Excuse me, like a healthy option. Um, but that's one thing about it is that a lot of people don't realize they can get a lot of these. They invest in these high end supplements and vitamins and things of that nature. When if you just took the time to maybe research some of these foods that you get, um, they can help you. You know, I was always the weird kid because I grew up like a liver. But the reason I like liver was because my mom ate so much of it, my back was green when I was born. I had that much iron in my system. But consequently, I very, very rarely get sick. And I've always just kept my iron levels high, from the fruits and vegetables that I eat. And then another helpful tip when we talk about grocery shopping, I was always taught to shop the perimeter of the store because the perimeter of the store, if you don't pay attention to this, watch this the next time you go into your local grocery store. The perimeter of the store, which means just the outside of the store, is where all your fresh foods and your fresh vegetables are. If you think about the layout of like the Winn Dixie, you walk in, and of course there's like the bakery, but that's the no, I'm not Iron Man. That makes the the bakery is right there. You normally have a deli right there when you walk in, where you got your salad bar and your hot plates. You have all of your vegetables around. They normally have like your wines. Move on further down, you got your meats. Then you got your eggs and cheeses. It's the processed food that's on the shelves in between that we get caught up in because it's less expensive. And I understand that, sometimes when you have to buy for more than just yourself, that can become expensive. But you do have other ways around that. You just have to make sure that you study, you know what I'm saying? Like not and I mean just basically do a little extra work, find the deals, save the money. You can either go get a case of water for $4 or you can go refill 4 gallons of water for $1.29. You know what I mean? Like realistically, when you buying a case of water, if you buying a 24 pack, you really ain't buying but like 2 gallons of water, and you paying $4 or $5 for it just because it's got a fancy label on it. But that same spring water, I can go get from a fountain machine, and it's the same water. It's the same type of product. You know what I mean? So it's just little things like that. I'm gonna leave it at that.
That's real. That's real. You got me on that one, bro. When thinking about the perimeter walk, because I damn sure just did like an outer scan of Winn Dixie, and you're damn sure right. Like everything I need is literally on the outside. I'm fucking up by going on the inside, so y'all hold me accountable. I want to go back to something that keeps being said. That's something I had to do when I was seeing my dietitian and shit. Portion sizes. This is going to be uncomfortable, but all the bowls and plates you got, they're oversized. Get rid of them. Go get you a bunch of saucers. They're at the Dollar Tree. They're $1. Every time I go to the Dollar Tree, I buy 2. I can literally go and bring you the bowls and shit that I bought because I know my motherfucking cereal bowl. I had a legendary cereal bowl, bro. That motherfucker was blue. Gold about.
It was a good. That was one of his like that was a championship. Like oh yeah.
Buck, you guilty?
Yeah. Cinnamon Toast Crunch was getting destroyed that day.
I can give you mine though. Mine probably about that thick and probably about that big.
That's my guilty pleasure. I don't even buy like everybody buy Fruity Pebbles. I'm gonna buy Fruity Dino Bites or whatever they call it, the malto meal. It's the same cereal. It's the same cereal. But I go and find that like 40-ounce bag of cereal because I don't keep a lot of sweets in the house. but that is my dessert. And see, my problem too, like somebody said earlier, I eat late. It'll be that time. I come home, I'm chilling, and I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. What is that? Ho, 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 ho. I'm going to get a bowl of cereal. And yeah, but my bad, I had to admit, you said something about cereal. It made me, I had to say something about that.
I respect it.
Balto meal has never let me down.
Let me tell you why, because I'm guilty of the same thing. And then my dietitian told me to read serving sizes. Read the back of that bag. See how much a serving size is and go look at your bowl. You're supposed to have about a cup of that cereal. You want to know how big of a cup is? Look at the palm of your hand. That's about how big of a bowl of cereal you're supposed to be having.
8 ounces.
Straight up. And if y'all were like me, I would get my big ass bowl, finish that bowl, and go get the re-up bowl. You know what I'm saying? So we're sometimes up there like 10 times the amount we're supposed to have. And then, like you said, Buck, you go to sleep. You're going to sleep with sugar in your stomach. Sugar turns to fat. And like when that was brought to my attention, like my dietitian, and I'm glad I went, honestly, because she taught me a lot of shit. Like the pieces of meat I'm supposed to be having is about the size of the palm of my hand. For my size, for my height, weight, and all that, about the size of my palm. That's I shouldn't go any bigger than that. And bro, when I tell you I was going to get chicken breast and duffel bags of chicken and just throwing them up there and just tearing it up with some pasta and stuff, it's little stuff like that. If you make the difference there, it'll add up, bro. Like you'll save money. You will lose weight because you're not consuming as much. And yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable at first, of course. But like Ivan said, invest in yourself. You know, you'd be surprised what you save on. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're buying less of that stuff, what's crazy is I could spend about $50, $60 and be straight for a good 2.5, 3 weeks, just because I know where to shop. I know, okay, I'm going to go get my meats here. I'm going to go get my vegetables here. I'll go get my utensils here. And I'm going to be honest with you. When it comes to like, if you like smoothies and stuff, the Dollar Tree sells fresh fruit in a bag for $1. And they fucked up and started selling rice cauliflower. So the game is over. Dollar Tree is coming for niggas next, like straight up. So I know a lot of time we walk by and we go there and get our knickknacks and stuff. But I'm going to tell you something else I did. So a lot of people talk about having an issue with meal prepping. Dollar Tree has the Betty Crocker containers, the little flat ones. They're 2 for $1. You got 2 containers right there. Go get you 4 of them. That's a whole week. That's $8, and you got your containers. Go get you a bag of chicken, bake them, broil them, whatever you do. Throw your vegetable in there. Throw them in the kitchen. Freeze some if you got to. But it's little. I feel like we get into a point where we make more excuses than solutions for ourselves, and that's the mentality we have to be. Because if there's something going on, we all have our favorite vice. What if we just sacrifice that vice just once a month and use that to invest back into ourselves? Like for me, I was going out to eat. I used to like and go and get a smoothie from Smoothie King. And then I found out that shit wasn't healthy. So that money I was using every paycheck was like $10. But that same $10 I can take and make smoothie mix for like 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So it's like an even exchange. Like you just sacrifice something that you know you ain't supposed to be having and go get something that you really need. That's all I got to say about that. That's my Forrest Gump.
And you know, I'll go get chicken breast and I'll cook it up. At one point I would get a bunch of chicken breast and grill it, and then have like brown rice or rice or something on the side, and I would take that to work in my little containers every day. But I got out of the habit of doing that, and last week I went grocery shopping. I made it a point to spend the money for groceries and the extra money I normally keep on the side for that dollar Whopper when they send me that notification, and spent it all on groceries. So I think all this week, except for one day, we've cooked at home. That was Monday. Monday we had some wings. I had some wings from This Wings. They know my order. And then, but Tuesday, Wednesday, and today we've cooked at the house. I'm probably gonna take some out cook tomorrow. If anybody know, I like to throw them coals on the grill and throw some on the grill with the quickness. I was just talking to Jeremy the other day about Sanders Farm chicken. I was like, bruh, that's that big chicken, like that they be processing that chicken, and like I'll go to the little black owned store and get their chicken. It'll be the same chicken legs and stuff we used to eat back in the day. The chicken, small chicken breasts and stuff like that. I don't have a problem. Or I get the frozen bag of chicken breast from Walmart, like the 10-pound bag, and we can eat off of that for weeks. Like I want to try some new recipes, so I took some chicken and diced it up. And Great Value makes this honey citrus marinade, and I diced it up. I cooked it, put the top on it, let it simmer, whatnot. Poured the marinade in that, and then it was so good we ate it. I cooked it again the next day. But it was just the change of getting back into cooking at home. Like I know that I need to lose weight. It's like it's a known thing. It's a thing that literally sits in my mind every day. I get up like, okay, I got to do something. I got to do something. But I just have sometimes, and like everybody keeps saying, invest in yourself. Like I literally be having so much going on that I be trying to accomplish and finish and create and all this stuff that kind of gets pushed to the side, and it's just come home, edit videos, work on side projects, work on my side hustle, watch TikTok for about an hour, and then sleep. And then the weekend is just, everything with COVID. Of course, COVID really is still in a bad spot, but like traveling a little bit more than 3, 4, 5 months ago is stuff to do. Got to get ready for my homeboy wedding and all that type of stuff. So I got to find some type of something somewhere to kind of get me right. But I do want to look at your detox though, Ivan, like for real, for real.
Hey man, like what you do is like while you're watching TikTok, just be in the kitchen, cut up your stuff, you know what I mean, and do it there. So it's so what I tell people is you make time for what you want, and it just has to become a priority. And like I had trouble with it, and like it's important for me just because I saw my son gaining weight. He was already the tallest kid in the class. He 5'2" at 8 years old. That don't make no damn sense. But he like he was just getting big, and like so I wanted to make sure that like I set the right example. So like there's no more like 4 for 4s. There's no more anything else. And as soon as like you start making it like if you do something for 21 days, it becomes a habit. So if you for a whole just do it for a whole month where you know what I mean, you take one part of your day and just while you watching videos, just be in the kitchen cutting up stuff, cutting up the chicken. And then after that, you bake or cook the chicken how you want to, and then just have your salad in the little containers. You don't even have to put the chicken in there. Just do it that way. So then you have it set for the rest of the time. So it's I know it's easy to say that, but I know it also is that time where you want to be able to make time for yourself. But like you just have to consider that time for yourself because once you start seeing those pounds come off you, once you start seeing, okay, now I can go to this size shirt versus being at this, this size shirt, it's gonna be something that you can really look forward to. So um, it's a lot of stuff where I think the tips are really, really great, you know what I mean? And I think what I try to do is make sure you get an accountability buddy, somebody that's like gonna call you on your BS when you be like, man, I couldn't do this or I couldn't do that, but I saw you on Facebook for 30 minutes. You know what I mean? You could be able to do, you can find stuff. So people don't like to have those uncomfortable conversations, but like, Jeremy was one with me where he was just like, okay, well, I got to do this or I got to do that. Well, while you over here watching this television show, you could be watching it while you're on a treadmill or while you're doing this or walking, doing those things. So it's important to really make the time for what you want and just know that you can multitask on certain things. And this is not to beat anybody up, not to say because because I know Malcolm's not gonna stop cooking seafood, but you know what I mean. Rather than frying it every 2 weeks, you do it once a month. You know what I mean? So you just change out how you want to do it. So it's a lot, especially, I understand because I'm a single dad, so I'd be tired. I'd be getting tired of talking to these people. Then after that, I have Ben, and now I got a dog too. Like something, I understand. Sometimes you'd be like, something's got to give, and I just don't feel like cooking. And so here is DoorDash and the DoorPass. Listen, I understand all that, but it's got to be something better because if you realize that the money you're wasting, and then also how it's not really helping yourself out, it makes it a whole lot better. So that's my little 2 cents about that as well. So what anybody else got any other topics, anything else that they want to ask or kind of bring up? Because, I just want to make sure that we all kind of get all that information out, take it in and see, give it out to everybody else, because there's some things that I didn't know that, brought us up and kept me informed. And I want to see if there was anything else that anybody had any other tips.
Oh, real quick. This is something me and Ebony did. We in a challenge group. We would set a goal for a certain amount of weight loss. And if you hit that goal, you do this one specific thing for yourself, whether it's buying yourself something or treating yourself out somewhere. Like set a goal for weight loss if that's what you want to do, or even if it's a change behavior. Like if Wyatt said, if Malcolm don't do fried food for a whole month, set something aside for yourself where you can celebrate that victory, because the journey is just that, a journey, and you don't want it to feel like a hollow victory. Because like Ebony says, you can have those yo-yo periods where it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So set a goal, extend it out, and then treat yourself to something when you make that goal. So yeah, I think that helps a lot, big time.
And I just had a question. I remember a book talking about the cholesterol. I've been trying to do keto diet-esque type of dieting. But I've been noticing when I do lose 1 month, when I do start to gain back, I swell. So I'm wondering if that's because of the high cholesterol from the meats and the eggs and, all the protein.
That's inflammation, basically. So inflammation comes from that when inflammation is what causes basically all diseases. You could do the keto diet, but I don't really like the term diet.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like you have to get into the habit of just eating a certain way. And really, to be honest with you, probably like on and off is probably doing more harm to your body than just doing what you've been doing. So, like I said, that's what inflammation comes from. It's coming from the foods that you eat, and your body's not able to process and break down that food. So therefore, it's trying to swell up to get the like meat and all that other stuff out of your body. And so that's why your joints are starting to ache. That's why your ankles swell up. That's why everything swells up. Calcium, with milk, that causes inflammation, all that. So you'll want to make sure whatever it is that you do, make sure you just stay consistent with it. And even when even when it comes to like frying food, instead of frying it in regular oil, get grapeseed oil, coconut oil. Yeah, it's a little bit more expensive, but it's good. It's better omegas as far as with your body. Take like little baby steps with that. So I'm not gonna give up the shrimp. I gotta have my shrimp. But okay, cool. Instead of cooking it in the canola oil or whatever it's called, right? That's $1, some $2. Go ahead and just get you a little bit of coconut oil and start cooking it in coconut oil or grapeseed oil or heck, even sunflower oil. Like make little transitions like that, and then eventually, like I said, just continue to do that, and you'll start seeing, like I said, the benefits.
Question. What about boiled shrimp? What if I just say, you know what, I'm gonna leave free fried shrimp alone. I'm gonna stick to boiled shrimp. Is that better or is that worse? Or is it in between?
It's definitely better. Anything that you don't fry is going to be better.
I can do the steamed shrimp. I can do steam. We ain't gotta put it in water. We can steam it.
Yeah, anything that you don't fry is going to be better because you got the oil and all the other stuff. As far as what you heating it up and all that, because when you heat up food like that anyway, any nutrients that you kind of had in it is being basically cooked out of it anyway. So
Hey man, no.
boil it.
Well, all right now y'all come to my house. Don't ask for no fried shrimp. It's gonna be steam with occasional. All right.
Ivan, since we're kind of closing everything down, I want you to have that opportunity to kind of share your information on where people can find you, where they can reach you, see some of your products, because you gave out a lot of great information. So want to be able to give that opportunity for you to say, you know, what you're doing and what you're working on.
Okay, appreciate it. The website is IV, like you see right there, IV the Great, ivholistic.com. As far as social media, Facebook is IV Holistic. Instagram is IV Holistic 24/7. And then YouTube is IV the Great is where you can find my information.
All right. Well, I think we'll go ahead and close it out here. I want to take the time to say thank you to Ivan and all the rest of the squad for giving us that opportunity to talk about some really important stuff. And we'll just catch you next time. All right.
Give it up wide for hosting, everybody.
Okay.
Sexual chocolate, everybody. Sexual chocolate.
I'm caramel, man. I'm caramel. That's all.
Sexual
that's all
caramel. I don't know if that does sound like an R&B conversation. I feel like we should have saved that for the colorisms episode. Sexual caramel. That would have fit more appropriately. But y'all stupid.